I'm going to start reading from the point where Andrea has just received a telephone call from a kidnapper, an anonymous voice, telling her that she has 48 hours to find £500,000 or her 14-year-old daughter dies. Andrea Deverne was a tough woman, and her life hadn't been easy. A successful, financially independent entrepreneur, she had to fight hard to get to the position where she was now. She's taken one hell of a lot of knocks on the way, knocks that would have finished off a lot of other more privileged people. And she'd always held firm, but nothing could prepare her for this. Emma was Andrea's world, no question, and to think of her now, trapped and frightened, with no understanding of what was going on, filled her with a helpless dread. And that was the worst part, the sheer helplessness. Her daughter was missing, and there was absolutely nothing she could do, except satisfy the demands of an anonymous caller and find him £500,000. My only child, if anything happens to her. She flicked shut the phone and walked into the kitchen, the heels of her court shoes clicking loudly on the mahogany floorboards. She grabbed a glass from one of the cupboards and filled it with water from the tap, then drained it in one go. She had to keep calm, but it was hard when you were alone, and that's when her thoughts turned to Pat. Pat Phelan, Andrea's husband of 2 years and Emma's stepfather. Charming, good-looking, and 5 years younger than her. She'd been infatuated with him when they met. A whirlwind romance had been followed by a marriage barely 4 months later. Her mother had described her as a fool and Pat as a ne'er-do-well. At the time, Andrea thought her mother was being short-sighted and maybe a little jealous. But in recent months, she began to get the first hints that maybe the old woman, spiteful as she'd always been, had a point. After all, it takes one to know one. She needed Pat now, more than she ever had. So where the hell was he?